Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's showtime. Jazz hands. We're going to be trying Bitcraft. Don't know a lot about it. I know it's a crafty-ish game. Might be a shorter stream, not sure. Enter my email. Okay, well. Just a second. Oh, and receive an access code. I wish I'd gone a little further. You're going to have to bear with me for just a second. Bloop. I wish they had this pop up before the press to enter. I agree. Sure. We will now check for the access code. Pardon the flashbang. Okay, BQSY9Y. 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 Entering Bitcraft. I'm back. That wasn't too terribly painful. Still, I couldn't have you seeing my email of joe@microsoft.com. I actually had a friend who had the email joe@microsoft.com, which was against the rules, but his company got bought out and they just ported the namespace over for their email. And so he was joe@microsoft.com for some length of time anyway. Welcome, Bitcraft Age of Automata. You're about to get an exclusive. I don't think it's all that exclusive because it's on Steam. At Bitcraft, ahead of its early access release for this demo, professions are capped at level 10, so your settlement will remain in the early stages. Additionally, the Empire system is disabled. We recommend following the demo quest lines, trying out professions, and building a small settlement to get the most out of your experience. Your UI is using the light mode theme by default, but you can also try out dark mode under the graphics tab. By default, you start on low graphics, but we encourage you to raise it to a higher setting if your system persists. Oh, permits, sorry. Well, it should. Let's see. Controls, keybinds, graphics. Wow, okay, it's actually higher than I normally run, so I am going to drop it down so that the streaming doesn't lose its mind. Oh my god, so many different choices. 1920, like 1080, 680 hertz sounds just fine to me. That was on low? Really? I almost never run anything on high res because I generally can't see the difference. Alright, rotate my camera. Hold and drag. Not in love with that. Zoom. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Reset. Z. Move. Click to move. I do like click to move. Hey, you, this way. If I could walk that way, I wouldn't need the cornstarch. That's a really, really old joke. That's a joke that's older than me. Press space. Oh, you caught me. You're faster than I expected. Well, you know. Where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wisp. Hi, Wisp. You probably don't remember much of the before times, do you? Do you recall your name or have something I could refer to you by? And if you don't remember, we can just make something up. How about Lens? It's correct. Lens, nice to meet you. Nice to be met. You've been out for a while, so let's get you recalibrated. Sounds painful. You know, Lynn sounds like the name of someone with great style. Well, obviously, I mean, look. Dressed in basic black. You should consider changing up your look to match. I mean, not that you don't look great already. The vault. Press V to open your vault and change up your look. Okay, in your vault, you can change your hairstyle, hair color, clothes, mask type, mask patterns, even your body color. Give it a try. Let's see. Body color. Pasty white. Alt left click to open in compendium. Oh, okay. Mask. Just one choice. Mask pattern. Well, I have blue eyes. Plain blue eyes? Well, I don't have plain blue eyes. We can't have that. That's my only option. God damn it. Hairstyle. Bald. Thank you. Hair color? Would be white if I had it. Head. I have no headgear. I guess I can't do anything with the rags I'm wearing. Well, that's just disappointing. Deploys. Boat. Cache. Cart. Mount. And trader stand. Pets. I ain't got none. I ain't got nobody. Old guy movie reference. Wonderful. You look fantastic. Thank you, I think. Another player there. I got a plain mushroom skewer. I don't know if you'd give that to me or what. You use some stamina after running after me. Your health and stamina will recover slowly on their own if they haven't drained recently, but the best way to restore stamina and health is to eat food. Eating food also fills your hunger bar. If that ever goes empty, you will begin starving and take damage until you find something to eat. Not a mechanic I like. Right off the bat. I don't remember which game it is where food and water aren't needed, but food and drink gives you buffs. And I think it was Sanagal who suggested that they should all do it the way it's done in EverQuest 2, where you drag a stack of food and drag a stack of liquid in place, and when you need to, you automatically consume. That is a really great suggestion, Sanagal. You. Good choice. Eating food all you have. Seeing as you've just awakened in an open field, I happen to have a few mushroom skewers I can share. Try eating one of those mushroom skewers now. Eat is left click. I have eaten one. Perfect. You'll continue to recover stamina over time. Where's the stamina bar? Don't really see it. Maybe it's under the talky bits. By the way, the only thing you're missing under my handsome face over here is chat, which mostly consists of player names that consist of, I'm going to go with like 12-digit numbers? No, 15-digit numbers? Really, it's player 288-2303-76159557 as an example. How do you collect water for tannin? Okay. Better foods will last longer and can sometimes even make you stronger. Buffs is the way to go. Exactly correct. Eating more immediately won't restore stamina any faster, so don't stuff your cake hole. Didn't actually say anything about cake holes. That was me. I'm improving. Now then, it seems your memory has degraded somewhat. Who are you again? Not to worry, you'll pick up how to do things again by rediscovering them in the world. I will lead you to some resources you haven't discovered yet so that you can expand your knowledge. To start, I'll teach you how to gather again. All right, follow me. Right click to click interact. I'm picking up sticks. I'm learning recipes. Great. Always remember that right-clicking can be used to quickly interact with your surroundings. Now, let's try another method. Okay. Right-click, shift right-click to choose interaction. Gather. Ah, okay. I'm gathering flint. I have gathered sticks and flint in games in the past. Why don't they go with obsidian for once? The makers are all gone, but they've left behind some marks of civilization. If you open your map, I'll show you such a place. Over there to the northwest. See that bed icon? I think, no, it's a flag icon dangling from it's a banner icon with a lock. It's an ancient town I found. Neat, huh? We should head over there. Okay. It's that destination. Bluffshade. And I guess it auto-runs me there. Because I clicked on the map. I guess I'm okay with that. I'm not nuts about that. I see lots of people. People who need people. Sorry, I'll stop for now. Bluffshade. Finding home. Reach the nearby ruined town. Well, not quite there yet. Well, maybe actually. So this appears to be a whole bunch of people are building up a town. What do we got? 30, 40 people around? Something like that? Interesting, don't you think? Well, I guess. There are quite a few of these ruined towns around. I think they were originally built by the makers. Anyways, before you do anything, you should attune your signature to this town so you can return here if needed. Try interacting with that statue. I am not fond of the middle mouse button to rotate the camera. Want to change your home location? Yes. Great, now you'll be able to return here if needed. Remember, you can only have one place set as your home at a time, but home is where the heart is. Home is where you wear your hat. Old guy movie reference. Now we're here, let's use a workbench to make some tools. Why don't you try crafting a flint tool bundle at that workbench? Which workbench? I'm going to assume that. A workbench? I hope it's a workbench. I think it's a workbench. Am I right? It appears to be a workbench. Okay, crafting. Active. Flint tool bundle. There we go. I can craft that. Level 0 workbench, level 1 carpentry. Materials are required. Project limit 0 of 1. Available slots 1,000. Effort to craft 5. It doesn't seem like that big of an effort to me, but I'll put in the effort because, you know, Wisp tells me to. All right. I have a flint tool bundle I will claim. It's got a shit ton of different tools, okay? I like that you don't have to create them all individually. That's nice. We will open our inventory and open it. I have a flint axe, flint saw, flint scissors, flint machete, flint hoe, don't say it, flint machete, flint rod, don't say it, flint scissors, all kinds of flint goodies. I guess I'm in like Flint. Old guy movie reference. Excellent. Those are some solid tools you made. Well, yeah, they're made out of sticks and stones, which are solid enough, as we all know, to break your bones. But words leave lasting scars. Excellent. Those are some solid tools. A little basic. Well, screw you. But it's a good start. And the more items you acquire, the more recipes and knowledge you will learn. Be sure to craft newly discovered recipes. You never know what else you might discover. Holding onto those tools in your inventory isn't very useful. Try equipping those tools from your inventory. Flint axe. Flint machete. Flint skizzers. Flint saw. And look out world, here lens comes. You can always view what tools you have equipped by opening the character menu. I have those things equipped. Oh, I found this bundle under the workbench. I'm sure it doesn't belong to anyone. No, of course not. You're just stealing stuff for me. Thank you. I hope. Here, take it. Flint tool bundle 2. Now that you've equipped, it's time for the most important tool of all, knowledge. Oh, I thought you meant me. Make sure to craft and pick up any items you see that are marked with a question mark badge. This will mark them as acquired in your compendium and has the potential to discover recipes. Let's try to acquire some rough plant fiber. Pardon me. Cough, cough. You already should have the tools you need from the bundle you crafted before. If you didn't equip them all yet, now would be a good time. Well, we have Flint Tool Bundle 2, which gives us a bunch more stuff. Okay. Pickaxe, chisel, hammer, bow, knife, hoe, don't say it, quill, rod, don't say it. They are all equipped. Equipment, professions, skills. Okay. Looks like we've got a dozen professions in the game now. And I don't know how many levels they go up to. Some significant number. Find a nearby bush from which to gather. Keep gathering from the bush until you acquire rough plant roots. Alright, we're looking for a bush. Preferably not a former president. Those are sticks, right? Yep, those are just sticks. Not a bush. But we'll pick up a few sticks. Because, hey, you never know when you might need some sticks. That's got an icon that I now am thinking is the questy icon. So this is a bush. I'm extracting. I'm extracting. My stamina is going down as I'm extracting. My foraging level is at 1. Wild fiber plant. Oh, no. What are these things lying around? Ah. It will prevent you from running, but we need it to make the rough plant fiber. What? You didn't. If you ever need to take a break, remember you can drop it from your inventory. Drop what from my inventory? I also wish you could open your inventory and other things. And modal dialog boxes are almost never the right answer. But you don't need a break, do you? You're unstoppable. What did I get? I got wild fiber plant seeds. Those are mushrooms. Is somebody else dropping stuff here? Rough plant roots. It says I've got one. Craft 100 rough plant fiber using the rough plant roots you're carrying. Rough plant roots. Options. Do have to go back to... That is an item pouch. Okay, so I can only carry one at a time. You can craft these at the ancient foraging station in town. Okay. Really not a fan of the camera control. Having to use a middle mouse button is very unpleasant. If nothing else, just give us WASD camera controls. Let's see. Rough plant fiber. I need to... craft 100 using rough plant roots. Those are the... Okay. That's going to be, what, 50 of them? Oh, gave me 100. Why it said 50? Don't know. But anyway, it's done. Craft 100. You can craft these. 100 rough plant fiber. Do I have 100 rough plant fiber? Why? Maybe I didn't pick it up? I didn't pick it up. There we go. All right. Great job! Now that we have enough rough plant fiber, you can process it further at the ancient tailoring station. Let's refine it into a rough spool of thread. We're at the foraging station. Where is the... There it is. Whoop. Ah. Tailoring. Rough spool of thread. I have everything. It's going to take 50 effort, though. I'm going to strain myself doing this. Make no mistake. This isn't for starters, okay? This is high-end crafting. Gimme. Craft 2. Oh, I need another one. Well, then I guess I'll make a second. We have some kind of buff here. Nearby flame, keeping enemies away. My food regen is going for another 32 seconds. And that's the second spool. Great, threads. Next up is rough cloth strip. Presumably also here. And great news, it won't require any crafting from you, since it's a passive craft. That means you can leave it unattended at a loom and the craft will complete on its own. Passive crafting doesn't give any experience, and your passive crafts can't be stolen by others. Someone could be a thief, you know. Let's start that passive craft now. Afterwards, I've got something to show you. I'm not positive I really want to see that, but okay. Rough spool of thread. I'll put... Use all your rough spool of thread to create... Rough spool of thread. Options. Okay. Crafting. No filter. It's not showing my rough spools of thread. Oh, there it is. But it's only showing me to craft it. It is not showing me that I can make it into something. Is that a different, you know, it sure looks like it's the same. Sprint, no. Hunting bow attack, no. You can only start, it says 3 of crafting, your rough spool of thread. I can't use the rough spool of thread. I have one recipe. At the nearby loom, okay. That is not a particularly obvious different location depending on your camera. All right, rough cloth strip. It has begun and will continue until it's done. Make sure you're making as many of those as you can. See that tree there? That could be your very own cart with a little imagination. We'll get to chopping. Rough cut. Craft a second one. Okay, and that's going to take 5 minutes. We need to go. I detest the camera moving. It's just not a good choice. Can't get out through that way. Over here we can. The middle mouse button is just a terrible choice. Where am I going? All right, what was run again? I don't recall. Let's check the settings. Keybinds, movement and interaction. Toggle sprint to space, not shift. Why they went with that, I am not sure. Pardon me. Oh, I've been chopping on a tree. Nice, you managed to get a rough wood trunk. You can bring it back to town and split it into some rough wood logs. Never said making a cart was easy, did I? Well, I wouldn't say things have been particularly difficult yet. Okay, it's supposed to be a toggle to run, and yet... won't let me run. Don't know why. It's not hold, it's a toggle. I'm carrying cargo, so I can't run. Okay. I really think the game is hurt by having all these dots for players on the minimap because you can't see shit. So that's a couple of things I've got to give them. Their default keybinds are not great, and that's just a really bad choice. We can see people everywhere. We don't need to see little dots of people everywhere to know that there's people everywhere. All right. Rough wood log output. We'll take that. New building recipe, small fence. New crafting, molten ferrolith. Rough stripped wood. Oh my, that sounds dirty. Remember that passive craft you started? Well, you'll need those materials for your cart along with the wood. Let's get what we need and make that cart. All right, we'll make what we need and get that cart. What's over here? Rough strip cloth. Second one is going to be finished in 10 seconds. I will enjoy a sip of my beverage. And we'll grab the second rough cloth strip. All right, craft 2 rough planks by stripping logs. Rough wood log, sticks, at the ancient carpentry station. Okay, that. All right, we need one rough rope here. Do that first. One rough rope. You can see my XP bar going up as we speak. We're almost halfway done with what, tailoring, presumably? Given the button icon? All right, I have a rough rope. Craft 2 rough planks by stripping logs at the ancient carpentry station. That's the cart. Is that that's the fishing station. Must be over here. Guy saying beginning carpenter as a title. We need rough wood logs, 2 rough planks. Rough wood package. Oh, this is the forestry, not the other one. Oh, well, where? God, it really is awful to see all of the dots on the mini-map for people. We don't need that. That's probably like scribing or something. That looks like that might be what we're looking for. Carpentry. Rough stripped wood, we need... Doesn't say anything about planks here. Ancient carpentry. First by stripping the logs. Rough stripped wood, okay. I have 2. Are those doing it by themselves? Is that timed? No, it shouldn't be. There we go. It just didn't start. It started now. Then we'll turn them into planks, seemingly. Rough stripped wood. Into 2 rough planks. And I am going to take a quick moment and refill my cup. I'm back. Hi, how you doing? All right, that's those two things. Let's see. Craft a deed cart. Well, we just happen to be at the right place to make a deed cart. We have 2 of those. We have 1 of those. It's going to cost 100 effort, but I can manage. Here we go. We're halfway to level 2 in carpentry. If I had a hammer, I do actually. My stamina's going down. We'll grab that cart. Indeed. You did it! Well, yeah, face it. Not the greatest accomplishment of all time. What you made there is a deed for your cart. First, add it to your vault. Use. Add it to my vault. V. Don't see a way to add it to my... Use it. Well, that's crafting it. Oh, from the inventory. By the way, since my stamina was going down... Oh, it looks like it's stopped for now. I have no need to eat the mushroom. We will use... it's been added to the vault, so now we go to the vault, we go to deploys, we have a card. Got it. Now deploy it from your vault. Well, let me move out of the way of these other people first. Don't want to be rude like some people are. Oops. I have a card. I'm deploying it. Deploy a cruise missile a lot faster. It's carty time. Seriously? That's the best they could do? That's a true work of cart. I'm really impressed. Evidently, no, they can do worse. So, Wisp likes to pun. All right, I'll stop now. Sorry. Spoiler, he probably won't stop. You can use that cart to haul plenty of cargo and items that you normally wouldn't be able to carry. And don't worry, it's safe from would-be thieves since no one can touch its contents. But you. Let's store it in your vault again. Do I right-click on it, or... Nope, now I'm using it. Not B. B. Deploys. Recover? Oh, no. You just want to... You can up arrow in the context menu on cart to collect it. In case you lose it, you can press V in your vault and recover it anywhere in the world. What? Up arrow? Do you really actually mean the freaking up arrow? No, that's camera controls. Shift. I think it's shift. It is. Great. Just remember that any items in your cart will drop to the ground when you store it. It's exactly the same way. Well, actually, you can't store your vehicle in Dune Awakening without emptying it out first. If you want to store items for a longer time, you can check out the bank. Making the rounds. Visit the bank. Okay, we're going to visit the bank, guys. I'm running as fast as my little feet will carry me. Here's the bank, where all your items will be in safe hands. Banks can be found in ruined towns like these, or they could be built in settlements run by other people. Remember that if you store your items in the bank, you can only collect those items from that same bank. Oh, Star Wars Galaxies has returned. No universal bank. But what happens if your items are in a bank run by someone else and they demolish it? Let me show you. You want to just tell me? Meet Wisp at the recovery station. Sometimes your items in someone else's settlement can go missing. Maybe they deconstruct the bank where your items were stored, or maybe they stop maintaining the station where you were crafting. When something like this happens and it's outside your control, your missing belongings will appear in a recovery station like this one. They'll always be sent to the recovery station in the nearest ruined town so you can find them again. Now then, Waystones. I'll meet you there. I'm running. I have a Daffy run. Well, I mean, I've been at it for only 40 minutes. Some of the systems feel a little odd. My only real negative is it can be tough to find stuff here in the minimap. We really don't need dots for all the other players because we can see all of the other players. That's my only real complaint. Some of the UI choices and default keybinds are a little strange as well, but that's something theoretically I'd be able to tune to my liking. Right now, I'm still at the very start of the tutorials. Yeah, the only one that's really bugging me so far is mouse wheel for rotating the camera. But I believe I can, well, not with the thing up. I believe the regular arrow keys can work too, but that's not a great solution either. I wish they used WASD. Yeah, I said the same thing. I wish they'd use WASD. It comes at the cost of travel energy, which will regenerate over time, or you can boost it with certain items. You can teleport with all your items, but not with cargo. And the more items you're carrying, the further you're going, the more travel energy it will cost. Okay, I like that system. You can change it yourself in the settings. Yeah, I checked the settings. For now, I'm not going to mess with it. If I end up playing long term, definitely a lot of changes to the keybinds. I'll mark the waystones in ruined towns. Waystones for the map for you. Any other waystone in another settlement will only become available after you visit the settlement. Some waystones are far away in different regions. Some regions may be more crowded than others, so there's a chance you may have to wait in a queue to teleport to those regions. Looking around, I can see some of the travelers are anxious to meet you. Well, of course they're anxious to meet me. I'm very important. I'm me. I saw Ramparte grumbling about something, and it seems that Heimlich is cooking up a storm. Oh, good choice, naming your chef instructor Heimlich. What, botulism wasn't available? Swing first, ask later. Find out what Ramparte is grumbling about. All right. Well, one of them's close. I'm going to think that's more likely the chef. No, that's Brico for Art of Construction. That's not one of the ones I was supposed to talk to. Truth be told, in those years, come on, Brico, I wasn't supposed to talk to you, and it's modal dialogues. God, modal dialogue boxes. That's not a good choice. Well, I thought I had a go-to there, but... All right. Also, I do have to say that the performance is a little disappointing But it is a very, very busy area. I understand that. But that's something they may want to take a look at. This is Heimlich. Oh, Maker's a visitor. I wasn't expecting, well, anyone, really. You're welcome, of course. I was just preparing a meal, you see. If you're hungry, I could share, or if you'd rather, I could show you how it's done. Cooking is a kind of magic, you know, just with more stirring and fewer incantations, usually. Game is having a memory leak at the moment. Also, grass eats the CPU and GPU. Those definitely need significant repairing then. If you'd care to try your hand at cooking, why not make a plain mushroom skewer? There are plenty of mushrooms about. Take a look. All right, I will find some mushrooms. We are shroom hunting. It's certainly not unusual for a game that isn't complete yet, or even often one that is theoretically complete, to have memory leaks and the like. Ramparte, oh my, look at how small you are. Can those flimsy arms even hold a sword? You know, back in my day, you wouldn't just be allowed anywhere near a weapon without proper training. You think you have the guts to swing this unarmed practice dummy here? Sure. I'm going to swing at the unarmed practice dummy. How brave you are attacking such a fearsome foe. Hey, there's no reason to be a smartass, Rampart, hey? But what's this? There's barely a scratch. Bah! You can swing harder than that. Grip the hilt, like it owes you hex coins. Swing. I'm swinging. How many times do you want me to swing? Hit the practice dummy with your short sword strike ability. I appear to be using my fist, but I don't think I should be, right? Ah, short sword auto attack. Short sword strike. Got it. There we go. Seems you actually broke straw there. Okay, Ramparte is getting on my nerves. Hitting a dummy is one thing, but out there the wilderness fights back, especially at night. They're jackals, umbura, you name it. They're not going to let you hit them for free. You want to live? Stay near lit up areas at night. Torches, bonfires, I don't care. Whatever keeps the dark at bay. Walls help too. Survival isn't always about being brave. It's about being smart. Well, enough chit-chat. Hit the practice dummy again. To deal 60 damage in total. What is 3? 3 is a slash and defend. Alright, I've seen enough. Maybe you're not cut out for this. Perhaps you're better suited to a shield for others. Some abilities generate more threat than others, meaning that you could take a piece of tension off your allies and potentially save their lives. Then again, perhaps you're struggling because of that flimsy butter knife of a sword you're holding. Feels like the game went backwards, client perf-wise, since the last alpha. It wouldn't surprise me. They've probably added a bunch of additional stuff. In some cases, they'll even roll back the engine while they're improving the performance on new stuff. So it may actually be running like an older version of the engine. Then again, perhaps you're struggling. Yeah, flimsy butter knife. Here, take this. It's my old practice sword. It's only been collecting dust here. And don't make a big deal of it. I'm doing myself a favor, sparing my eyes from seeing you flail that old stick around. You got steel in your hand. Now let's see if you've got any spine. I have a few jobs need doing. I do them myself. If it wasn't for this blasted injury. Bah. I speak to Ramparte and complete one of his tasks. First of all, we want to use the rusty short sword instead of the training short sword. Does 4 to 6. The one I'm currently have now using is 7 to 10. That is a higher number. I can attest. So we need to get a quest from Ramparte. Hello, little one. Traveler tasks. Let's see. Wants proof you can take down some pesky jackals. Looking for a rare jackal. Wants proof you can take down a jackal. Let's go with that one. Oh, okay, he needs just jackal for I just need to bring it, I guess. Alright. Alright, that's for that. Where am I gonna find a jackal? What did I need? My basic mushrooms. I'm looking for mushrooms as well. So what about brought me to... what is your thought about them open sourcing the game? It's not something I'm particularly aware of. I know that they have been working on the game for a while, and I have been aware of it, but not really paying attention, if that makes sense. So I don't know the status of things. It might turn out to be a big success overall, even if it's not necessarily a big success for them, or it could turn into a big success. Can I see what that is without clicking on it? Doesn't look like I can. It's a sand pile, okay? Not interested in sand. Looking for mushrooms and a jackal. Press U. Not seeing anything pop up. Left click and then U. Let's see what they have to say. Movement, interaction. Target. Shouldn't be camera. Tooltip. Should be tooltips, right? Show world space. It's a toggle. Ah, okay. Not seeing it. There we are. All right. It's only showing stuff that's far away. That's a bit weird. All right, that it showed. I haven't been paying a great deal of attention to the game because until recently I really didn't know what it was about. Only shows items and nothing else. I see. That looks like that could be mushrooms. No, it's not. We're looking for mushrooms. Are you mushrooms? You're flint. Those could be mushrooms. Those are mushrooms. Collect 5 basic mushrooms. How are we doing on the basic mushrooms here? Looks like we've got more than enough. I haven't seen the number go up. Ah, okay, it doesn't show you. It doesn't update in the inventory. Well, let's finish Heimlich's requirement. Craft a mushroom skewer. Where are we? Over there. Yeah, at least right now in town. Okay, I see this actually does put the names up over stuff. It also does seem like it's not necessarily helping performance, but that might just be my perceptions. All right, ancient cooking station. Mushroom experiment. Outputs, mushroom skewers, and a couple of recipes. All right, well, let's make some mushrooms. Materials acquired. Did I not? Oh, I didn't pick it up. There we go. Craft a mushroom skewer. Ah, plain mushroom skewer. There we go. No, materials acquired. I need more shrooms. Okay, I used too many shrooms on not the right recipe. I need more shrooms. Yeah, definitely the performance is not great. Especially in town area. And I think I have no idea how much of it is updating the mini-map with all the people, but that's got to be a drain. And frankly, it doesn't need to be there at all in the town area. Everyone thinks it's server perf, everything is client perf issues. Yeah, I wouldn't expect that. Would be the frame rates are not going to be anything to do with the server. And the frame rates aren't great. I uncovered new land. 0.02%. I've almost found everything in the game. Ah, okay. My stamina is terrible. I should probably eat a plain mushroom skewer. I did make a plain mushroom skewer because I only had like 9 of them before. All right. Gotta be more mushrooms around. Oh, mushrooms. We have mushroom sign. And a sogi bird. And the tutorial is very specific. You make them, but to the wrong recipe. Yeah, that's what I thought I might have done. Okay, we have 10 mushrooms again. We're back in Bluffshade. Place feels like home already. Not really. All right, we need to make a plain mushroom skewer. Is that the one? Yay, I will pick it up. Return to Heimlich. Oh, would you look at that? Perfect golden crust, proper sizzle lines. You could be a true steward of the stove. Always wanted to be a steward of the stove. Now let me share a little something with you. Not all foods are created equal. There are countless recipes out there. That's not true. I'm sure there's a finite number, requiring different ingredients, some rarer and more complex than others. Generally speaking, the more complex the recipe, the better the meal will be. And that's not all. Some foods can bestow real enchantments, like teas that can keep you cool in the middle of the desert, or warm in a blizzard. Well, you know, if you need to be cool in the desert, you just wear a t-shirt. Yeah. Never mind. A novice such as yourself still has much to learn. Perhaps you should start by experimenting with berries. Sometimes when you experiment with an ingredient, you could learn new recipes. Try it out. Presumably, I will have to harvest basic berry from nearby bushes. Well, if they're nearby, they do not appear to be on the map. So they just have to be bushes out in the world somewhere. Making your own settlement is fun to do, but you need bigger group since doing it solo is burnout hell. Yeah, from what little I saw, it did seem like it was more of a group-focused game. I am more of a soloer, so, you know, unless they make additional changes, and it should not be their priority, it's not likely to be a game I'm going to sink an enormous amount of time in, but I wanted to take a shot at it so I at least will have an informed opinion. that's just bushes. That's not from nearby bushes. They're adding housing after this playtest for solo players. I mean, I understand they want to focus on, the things that are important to them, and they should. But the market for solo play is quite large, and if your game will support it, you don't want to neglect it. Am I actually getting berries? It looks like I'm getting berries, but I'm not seeing berries here. My foraging is level 2. Not sure what I am getting. It looks like an icon for berries. But I guess it's just the gathering, the foraging icon. So whatever I was getting, probably just... I can't tell. Does it... Maybe rough plant fiber, I guess, is probably what it was. So I'm assuming that means I'm going to have to find a specific kind of bush. Right, yeah, I'm not getting berries. I did figure that out. Look in your big slot. That's the rough plant roots. Is that where the berries would show up? That's what I got. Right, yeah, the rough plant roots. Got that for an earlier recipe as well. There, and now I can move again. So presumably we're looking for a specific kind of plant that has berries. Don't assume that's it. Lavender, that's not it. The art for things in the world is not easily obvious. I mean, now that I know that the purple stuff is lavender, I know it's lavender. That's probably flint, I think. But I have no idea what makes a berry bush different from a regular bush. You played this game, you know everything by sight. Well, that's certainly going to be an advantage, yeah. I haven't covered new land. Wait, that's blue. Okay, that's just a player. That's a shiny rock. A rough hieroglyph. I'm improving my scholarliness. I'm okay with that. It is always fun being in a game, you know, from the start. I have been in a similar situation recently with Star's Reach. Oh, that's shrooms. You were lucky with the group you joined. They group up, play with makes. Yeah, that's what it seems like to me, is that it will be a game where a bunch of people playing together will have an advantage. Might those be berries? Strawberry bush. Yay. Now I'm getting berries. Huh? Berries. How many did I need? 10 basic berries. I'm not sure strawberries count. Ugh. We're going to take a sec, get our stamina back. Almost back. I have an achievement, my first steps. Oh, these are basic berries. Strawberries are basic berries. Okay, good. Well, let's make sure we get enough. Oh. No, basic... Okay, basic berries, and we got a basic citric berry, which is different. I want to get twice as many of the basic berries as I need, in case I screw things up again. I have a gift for that, you know? Screwing up. I'm very, very good at it. So they want me to have 10, and I'm going to have more. $18, 19, and 20. There we go. We'll get back to town. Cooking station. Why this game never have enough berries since we make berries into compost and farm with it? Yeah, well, a lot of times, the deeper the crafting system, you're going to have some bits and pieces that are not necessarily going to make a whole lot of sense, if any. All right, I need to make basic berry experiment. Basic berry experiment. I'm experimenting for science. Return to Heimlich. Hello, Heimlich. Wonderful. You won't always discover a new recipe when experimenting, but keep at it. Farming takes one whole bucket filled with water, wood and all. Balancing that sort of thing is always going to be tough. You can try and make it logical, but most of the time that doesn't make for good gameplay. There are always going to be choke points, and you just don't want them to be too bad. Wonderful. You want... Yeah, okay, I already said that. Now then, I've put together a small handful of jobs that need doing. See if any catch your eye. Traveler tasks. What does he want? Let's see. Some mushroom skewers. 10 of them. Mashed bulbs. Or roasted meat. I can collect on the shrooms. My cooking is now level 2. I got some hex coins. Alright, so now we need to do the quest for Ramparte, which required, I believe, a jackal skin. I haven't seen any jackals. I don't know where they would reside. But I'm going to pick a direction and go that way. I'm going to go that way. Evidently, I'm going south. Looking for jackals in all the wrong places. Hello there. Welcome. I see a saggy bird. As an old man who's lost a lot of weight over the last couple of years, I can identify with saggy. You didn't want to know that. Let's pretend I didn't say anything. I don't want to burn through all of my stamina while we're looking for jackals. I was raided with a party of 3. Sadly, the raid alerts I can't make work. I get sub alerts, I get follow alerts, they all work. The raid one, not so much. Thank you very much for the raid, and welcome raiders. I'm Lens, Magnifying Lens, and I'm just trying out this game. Recommend making some armor before fighting any jackals they're mean. Ended up in a bit of a death loop. Okay, I do like the advice. And that was a follow. You see, you heard that, right? You didn't hear the raid. I've tested it. It just doesn't work when it's supposed to work. Accidental Insomniac is now going to get my spiel. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction, especially with the raid alarms. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. Thank you. Let me see what is required to make some armor. Yeah, I have seen that in other games, other sort of survival crafty games, where for whatever reason they make some of the early content far too, I don't want to say difficult, far too... It's not that it's difficult, it's that it can be frustrating. You don't want to frustrate your new player by making things hard to find or difficult to defeat that they're supposed to defeat. But too many of them, like, they want it to smash you in the face to begin with. I think it needs to, you really want to start slower. Made the mistake of swimming across an ocean to see if I could. Oh, and they were waiting for you on shore. Yeah, that would be bad. Well, that's a crude workbench. Would it be tailoring? Do they have armor? I know how I can find out. Professions. Carpentry, farming, fishing, foraging, masonry, leatherworking. It's probably leatherworking. Or smithing. But either way, we're either going to need to get to some ore, or we're going to have to murder some kind of critter. So maybe it's time to try out on one of the poor saggy birds. As this old saggy man will fight an old saggy bird. So for those of you guys who are new, or just popping in for the first time, thank you very much. I'm Lens, I'm a variety streamer. Mostly MMOs, ARPGs, occasional RPGs, and I've been getting into survival crafting games a lot. Land to the west of Wold Cross is unpopulated, meadows and jackals as far as the eye can see. Thank you. So we're going to try to kill a saggy bird. Don't know why, it's done nothing to me. But hey. No reason to run away just because I am intending to harm you. Well, let's make sure we've got all of our stamina back. Uh-huh. Probably better cooked. Well, I would like to... That didn't work. Says Shift E will eat the first item in your inventory. Well, I hope I didn't eat the sticks. There we go. I can eat a little something. Make sure you have a bow, otherwise you can't herd the birds for reasons. Okay. I do have one, I believe. Short sword, was it in professions? I have a bow. It's equipped, so... I'm shooting him. Thank you for the advice on that. Very nice. I have killed the saggy bird. View in inventory. View compendium. Creatures. Saggy bird. Health, speed. Info. Obtain. Use. I guess I don't know what I can do with it because I haven't tried to do anything with it yet. Give me just a second. I want to check on something performance related. Yeah, it's chugging away a lot of the CPU, that's for sure. Got off for the night once you started getting slightly better gear, which required tougher leather, or required rough leather, which you didn't have brain figure out where to get that from. Yeah. I can understand they don't want to give you too much information and turn things into, you know, a snooze fest. But you also don't want to go with too little information, or the players are going to get frustrated. A frequent topic here in my channel has been games that are not correctly measuring friction versus frustration. Oops, did we crash? Hang? No? Okay, that was just quite the delay. Also, like you want to play, but once early access opens, it resets. Yeah, that is certainly a significant... Wow, it's happened again. Server okay? Somebody's asking. Yeah, I had the same issue with Dune Awakening. So I created a couple of different characters because I wanted to do a little experimenting with the other classes. And I didn't want to get too deep into it because it all resets. It's just a straight up RAM leak. That's certainly not unusual even in released games. So yeah, okay. I think I'm going to quit and relaunch. So just give me a sec here. The next time it comes back to life. It is certainly behaving like everything's running short on memory. And it's not even closing up in a friendly fashion. Uh-huh. Okay. Try that again. I have seen this before, games that quit and they take up the entire screen. For day one of the demo, it could definitely be worse. Yeah, this isn't helping. The fact that it has hung my monitor is not helping at all. I mean, I can't even bring up anything on the main monitor. Because it has hung the graphics out. I can't even bring up the task manager. Nor any other of the windows. Yeah, I may have to pull back to space and nuke it. I think I will end it here a little early. Sorry, guys. But I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time poking at this to try and get it unhung on stream. So I will call it here. Um, this the significant technical glitch at the end is most unwelcome. As a whole, the only real problems I had with the game were pretty straightforward. The default key assignments I don't particularly care for, but that's fixable. You can always tune those. In town, we don't need to see the dots for all the other players because we can see there's players everywhere and they are overwriting everything that's in the town that we're trying to find. The performance was not great, and the performance here, it finally went dark. Hey, it finally actually died. I'm back. I will not be restarting it tonight. Um, yeah, so those were my real issues. The performance went down and then got badly hung there for several minutes at the end. That's not good. The key assignments aren't great, but that can be fixed. The game looks interesting. It just looks and frankly feels early access. So it's a game I'll keep an eye on, but I'm not sure whether I will undoubtedly play at launch, but it's not going to be high on my priority list, I don't think. Anyway, regardless, I should be back on Saturday. Not sure what I'll be playing, but not this, but something. Possibly there was another game released today, an Asian, mostly PvP focused game that apparently plays well. And a game that plays well, I'm willing to give a shot, even if it's a classic Asian grinder. So that's my plan for tomorrow. Probably. Sunday is my 6th streamiversary. I'll be playing City of Heroes. I'll be taking the 2nd off. The 3rd and 4th is the Guild Wars 2 final content patch for the latest expansion, Janthir Wilds. And then the 5th is Dune Awakening, which I'll be playing a lot of. But I want to thank you guys very much for hanging out. Thank you for the raid and follow, Accidental Insomniac. Hopefully you will see me soon. Have a great rest of your day, evening, night, morning. Choose one or more. Back in a couple.